there, JJ Roses. Welcome back to the YouTube. Hope you guys are good. In today's video, we're going to be looking at 147 science facts I bet you didn't know. Now, I was never really that good at science, so I bet a lot of these are going to surprise me. Also, throughout this video, these facts are going to get more and more crazy. The ones at the end of this video, pretty much no one knows about them. So make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you learned something new. On the topic of subscribing, of all of you guys that watched my videos in the last 28 days, there's a massive 75.3% of you that haven't subscribed. Why is that going up? I do this every video, and it's going up, if anything. Are you unsubscribing? Is that what's happening? Please don't. So if you watch my videos and you enjoy them, then please hit that subscribe button, because it really helps me out, and it means the world to me. So thank you so much, guys. Okay, let's get on with these crazy science facts. There's 147 of them, so we better get through them quick. Okay, so 1 in 4 people knew this. That's 25%. You lose bones as you grow. As we get older, we begin to lose more bone than we build. Oh, okay, so you don't actually lose bones, but the bones become less dense? Is that what it's saying? You don't actually lose bones, right? They don't just fall off. I'm pretty sure they become less dense. 1 in 8 people knew this. 50% of oxygen produced is by the sea. The majority of this production is from oceanic plankton. I didn't actually know that. So you're telling me if we got rid of all trees and all plants on the land, then we'd actually still have oxygen because of the sea. It probably, that wouldn't be a good thing, but I didn't know that. I feel like that's going to be the catchphrase of this video, is me saying, I didn't know that. Mainly because I'm an idiot. 1 in 12 people knew this. You can't burp in space. 1 in 12 people did not know that. Come on. When the gases try to escape, they drag solids and liquids along with them. What does that mean? They drag solids and liquids along with them. So you literally just can't burp. Does that mean you can't fart as well? I don't want to go to space now for that exact reason. Astronauts coming back from space, they just let out massive farts and burps. 1 in 23 people knew this. Your eyes are better than any camera. The resolution of the human eye is 576 megapixels. I don't actually know what that means, but basically our eyes are better than any camera. Well, there you go. That's pretty cool. We do underestimate the eyes sometimes, don't we? 1 in 28 people knew this. Phobias can be genetic. DNA can give you a predisposition to developing anxiety disorders. I would say I have a phobia of heights and spiders. And I do wonder whether I get that from my parents, because my dad doesn't really like heights. My dad hates heights, and my mum doesn't like spiders. So great, I've got both of those now. Thanks, Mum and Dad. 1 in 34 people knew this. Lab rats are bizarrely similar to humans. They have 2.75 billion base pairs in their genome, while we have 2.9 billion base pairs. Well, I'm not going to lie, guys. I have absolutely no idea what that means. Something scientific. I feel like I need to watch this video because as I said at the start, I'm not very good at science. I need to know more. I need to know more. Of all the sciences, though, I would say biology is my favorite. 1 in 45 people knew this. Octopus blood is blue. I did actually know that, only because of watching videos like this. I think I've seen this in one of these videos. Hemocyanin is a pigment that gives the octopus blood its blue color. Why would it be blue, though? What is the point? I mean, why is our blood red? That's what I want to know. 1 in 57 people knew this. Lightning is 5 times hotter than the sun. Interesting. That's pretty cool, because there's been a lot of lightning recently where I live, and pretty much all over the UK, because it's just been stormy because of the heat waves. Lightning can heat the air it passes through to 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in centigrade, but we're going to get that on the screen right here. But that is very hot. That's crazy. Lightning can be 5 times hotter than the sun. I mean, the sun's pretty darn hot. I've often wondered this. Is there a way to, harness the power of lightning? Can we use it to charge something? Or can we not? Maybe it's just so fast and it happens so quickly that we just can't. I don't know. I just thought maybe we could use the energy for something. Maybe I'm onto something, or maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know. 1 in 89 people knew this. Plants talk to each other. Some plants release chemicals to warn neighbors of predators. What are you... Okay, I mean, that's cool. That's cool and all that plants can do that. But what are they gonna do once a plant knows there's a predator nearby? What's it gonna go? Quick, run! They're not gonna be able to do anything. They're just gonna just hide. They can't really do a lot, can they? 1 in 91 people knew this. Sahara used to be green. Wow, 5,000 to 11,000 years ago, the Sahara had vegetation and lakes. Yeah, have you seen those old pictures of Egypt as well? There's really cool pictures of how Egypt and the pyramids used to look before, which is basically when they were first built. And there's loads of water and greenery, and it just looks amazing. 1 in 101 people knew this. Your brain can rewire itself. Neuroplasticity lets your brain adapt by forming new connections. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but that's pretty cool. I've also heard that every 7 years, every atom in your body is replaced. So you're basically a new human being every 7 years. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's something I remember my friend telling me a while ago. Maybe it was bullshit. 1 in 145 people knew this. Some animals don't age. Certain species, like the naked mole rat, don't biologically age like humans. Well, maybe they don't biologically age, but they do always look like they're really old. like a naked mole rat. Imagine just always looking like a young naked mole rat. Might as well just look 90 years old. That's pretty cool though. If there's some way, if animals can do it, I feel like we could do it. Then we must be like on the brink of being able to stop aging. 1 in 191 people knew this. Bees can recognize human faces. I knew it. I knew that bee had a vendetta against me just to sting me. Bees can recognize and differentiate between human faces. Honestly, I swear, I feel like wasps and bees hate me. Well, I haven't done anything to them. They just hate me. 1 in 234 people knew this. Human nose can detect fear. We can detect emotions by sniffing out the chemical signals people emit. You can actually smell people's fear. Oh, God. 1 in 282 people knew this. The moon causes earthquakes. The moon's pull is so strong it may trigger earthquakes on Earth. That's pretty cool. I wonder if the Earth triggers moonquakes on the moon. Thoughts with Jake. Is that a thing? I don't know. I feel like it could be. 1 in 324 people knew this. There's a lake that boils. The boiling lake of Dominica is a high-temperature volcanic crater lake. I'm guessing it's too hot to take a bath in. That's pretty cool. I kind of want to see that now. 1 in 456 people knew this. Earthquakes can shorten days. Japan's 8.9 magnitude quake shortened Earth's day by 1.8 microseconds. Whoa, what's a microsecond? That is, I'm guessing that's smaller than a millisecond. That's basically nothing then. But also, how does that work? Shortens Earth's days. Something to do with the rotation of the Earth? I don't know. 1 in 577 people knew this. I don't know how they know how many people know these facts, but we're just going to roll with it. You're breathing dinosaur air. The oxygen we breathe today is the same as during the dinosaurs' time. Yeah, I have thought about that. Also, the same with water. The water we drink now. If you think about how much history that water has, like it's been around forever. Maybe it's come in on an asteroid and it's been on Earth for billions of years. The dinosaurs have drunk it. Kings and queens of England have drunk it. Literally anyone could have drunk that water. 1 in 618 people knew this. Polar bears have black skin. A polar bear's skin is black and its hairs are hollow. I did actually know that. 1 in 721 people knew this. Sharks don't have bones. Their skeletons are made of cartilage, the same flexible stuff as your ears are made of. Well, there you go. I did actually know that. Oh, but what about their teeth, though? Are teeth made of bone or is that cartilage? I don't really know. I did know that one though because I remember my friend telling me that sharks were all muscle, but I don't think that's true either. 1 in 899 people knew this. You have more than one heartbeat. Your stomach has its own heartbeat, which is essential for digestion. What do you mean you have more than one heartbeat? No, I don't. I've only got one. I'm not entirely sure what it means by that. That's pretty cool, though. Oh, by the way, guys, I forgot to mention, for those of you wondering where the play button's gone from my wall, it fell off the other day. It just fell off. Luckily, it's fine. I just need to put it back up properly this time. Okay, you can stop panicking now. It's fine. 1 in 913 people knew this. Whales can live for over 200 years. Bowhead whales are considered to be the longest living mammals. 200 years. That would be so cool, wouldn't it? 1 in 1,000 people know this. You can't taste food without smelling it. When our nose is blocked, as by a cold, most foods seem bland or tasteless. There's no way only 1 in 1,000 people knew it. Like, I feel like most people know this, right? Like, if you have COVID, or yeah, you have a cold, you can't taste anything. If you can't smell, you can't taste. Yeah, I knew that. But this one, though, 1 in 1,100 people knew this. Your body has plenty iron for a nail. You can make a real 3-inch nail from the iron that is in your body. Whoa, that is so cool. It's like when you look at the human body, you wouldn't have thought there's actually metal in you. But apparently there is, all around you. 1 in 1,700 people knew this. Bananas are radioactive. Consuming one banana would deliver a total dose of 0.01 millirem of radiation. Okay, so they're radioactive for literally nothing. It's basically as if they're not. You'd probably have to eat a lot of banana, like I mean a lot of bananas to get radioactive poisoning. 1 in 2,300 people knew this. Clouds are heavy. A typical cloud weighs around 1 million tons. What? Are you joking? Surely not. Clouds are heavy. 1 million tons. If it's so heavy, then how is it in the sky? Okay, well, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That's actually blown my mind. Is that when it's full of rain? Like, how are they in the air? What's going on? I've always imagined them as being like light, fluffy things that just like float through the air. Okay, fair enough. 1 in 3,100 people knew this. The Eiffel Tower grows in summer. I did know this because heat makes metal expand. The Eiffel Tower gets taller by up to 6 inches during the summer. 6 inches, that's a lot. That is a lot. 1 in 3,300 people knew this. Soil is full of life. A handful of soil has more living orgasms. A handful of soil has more living organisms than people on planet Earth. Whoa. Literally a handful of soil. That is crazy. That's a lot of orgasms. 1 in 3,900 people knew this. Venus spins clockwise. Almost all planets in the solar system spin anti-clockwise, but Venus spins clockwise. Interesting. Why? Why do they spin at all as well? That's another question. That's another question I have. Why are they not just still? Why are they moving? 1 in 4,000 people knew this. Humans have genes from other species. Due to billions of years of evolution, humans share genes with all living organisms. Whoa. All living organisms. Oh, God, I'm really bringing down the IQ of this video, aren't I? Sorry. 1 in 4,500 people knew this. Half of your body is bacteria. Human cells make up only 43% of the body's total cell count. Half of my body... Well, speak for yourself. Half of your body is bacteria. How about that? No, but in all seriousness, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Don't forget, guys, as this video goes on, these facts get crazier and crazier. And the ones at the end, pretty much no one knows about. 1 in 5,900 people knew this. Oh my God, that's a lot of people. Most of the universe is invisible. Around 85% of the matter in the cosmos is made of invisible dark matter. See, I don't think I'll ever actually understand what dark matter is because I don't know how... Yeah, I don't know. It's just too scientific for me. How can matter be something if you can see straight through it? I suppose glass you can see through, but like there's... I don't know. I don't get it. Somebody explain it to me in the comments. 1 in 6,200 people knew this. Your pets might be allergic to you. In felines and canines, eczema can be brought on by human dander. Is that meant to say dander? I don't know what dander is, to be honest, guys. But apparently your pets might be allergic to you. Oh, okay. I just looked up what dander is, and it's basically human hair and skin and just flakes of human stuff that falls off you. So that's why your pets might be allergic to you. 1 in 7,300 people knew this. Some animals are technically immortal. An ocean creature called Turritopsis dorni is a jellyfish that can reset its life. Yeah, I've heard of jellyfish that can do that. I didn't know that was its name, though. It's nice and easy to pronounce, isn't it? 1 in 7,800 people knew this. Mosquitoes have favorite colors. No, they don't. A study found that red, orange, cyan, and black tend to draw mosquitoes. Well, there you go. Well, I didn't know that. Next time I see a mosquito flying past me going, yeah, I'm going to be like, what's your favorite color? 1 in 8,000 people knew this. Cockroaches live weeks without a head. I've heard about this. They will eventually starve to death, but this can still take several weeks. That is crazy, isn't it? Cockroaches are just like the hardiest creatures ever. Live weeks without a head. I don't think you get cockroaches in the UK, but I might be wrong. I don't think I've ever seen one, though. 1 in 8,300 people knew this. The first vaccine was for smallpox. The first vaccine was administered in 1796 to a child by Edward Jenner. Really? So they tested the first ever vaccine on a child. Of course they did. It was 1796. 1 in 9,000 people knew this. Time moves faster at higher elevations. Researchers showed that clocks run faster if they are raised by just 12 inches. Surely not a lot, though. So you're telling me a clock that's on the top of Mount Everest is going to go faster than a clock that's lower down? Does time actually move faster? What's going on? That's crazy. What the hell? Is that why people that are taller don't live as long? Because they're experiencing time faster? No. 1 in 9,100 people knew this. The moon is slowly moving away. It's actually moving away at a rate of 1.5 inches per year. No! Why is it leaving us? That's crazy. I didn't know that. 1 in 10,000 people knew this, though. Viruses can infect other viruses. Yeah. Fight fire with fire. Increasing evidence suggests that virus-virus interactions are common. Wow. I'm not sure if that's cool or not. I feel like that's how you create a super virus. It's kind of scary, if anything. 1 in 12,000 people knew this. Fish can drown. The most common cause of fish kills is suffocation due to lack of dissolved oxygen. Do they actually drown, though, or they just suffocate? Yeah. Is suffocating the same as drowning? I don't think it is it? I thought drowning was like just the act of inhaling water into your lungs, and suffocation was lack of oxygen, not being able to breathe. I don't know. Maybe they're the same thing. 1 in 14,000 people knew this. Penicillin discovery was accidental. Fleming discovered antibiotics when mold killed bacteria in his petri dish. Well, there you go. I didn't know that. Fleming is such an unfortunate name, isn't it? 1 in 17,500 people knew this. Butterflies remember being caterpillars. How would you know that? Have you asked the butterfly? They remember that? Moths and butterflies can remember what they learned as caterpillars. That is so cool. 1 in 19,000 people knew this. Earth had a twin planet. Theia, a Mars-sized planet, collided with Earth billions of years ago. What the hell? I didn't know that. So Earth has actually collided with another planet billions of years ago. How the hell do we know that? That's what I want to know. 1 in 21,000 people knew this. Sneezes can travel 100 miles per hour. They can travel up to 100 miles per hour and create upwards of 100,000 droplets Yeah, that's why sneezes are so disgusting. Because I suppose it all just comes out at once of your mouth, your nose, your anus. If you have a really big sneeze, it comes out your anus as well. 1 in 23,400 people knew this. You have gold in your blood. Our blood contains around 0.2 milligrams of gold. Okay, so not really a lot then, is it? But also, how? How do we have gold in our blood? 1 in 25,000 people knew this. Lizards squirt blood from their eyes. Oh my god. This usually frightens predators enough to make them flee. Yeah, if I saw a lizard doing that, you're darn right. I'd be running in the opposite direction. 1 in 27,000 people knew this. More trees than stars. Our galaxy has 100 to 400 billion stars, and Earth has 3 trillion trees. 3 trillion. Trillion. That is awesome. I did not know that. But yet, still, I saw a fact somewhere that said trees are more rare than diamond. Or than a lot of substances. Because name one other planet that has a tree. But there's so many asteroids and other planets out there that they think are made entirely of diamond. It's so cool. It's actually probably really rare. 1 in 28,400 people knew this. Bats don't get sick from most viruses. These diseases can be deadly to humans, yet bats seem to be unaffected. Yeah, have you ever seen a bat with COVID? No, but they started it. 1 in 29,000 people knew this. Gas is not smelly. Only 1% of the gas humans release actually smells bad. Yeah, sometimes I do fart and it doesn't smell of anything. Nothing comes out. I suppose it's just if it's the gas passing through your poo that makes it smelly. Probably what it is, right? 1 in 32,000 people knew this. The moon smells like gunpowder. How do they know that? 12 people have walked on the moon and all of them agree. Oh, okay, fair enough. I forget we've been to the moon. That's how they know that. They've got a spacesuit on though, so they're not actually smelling moon air, are they? They're smelling oxygen and their own farts. 1 in 33,000 people knew this. Neptune was found using math. Neptune was mathematically predicted before it was directly observed. Yeah, I heard about that. That's pretty cool. So many... It never fails to amaze me how smart and just intelligent some people are. They knew that Neptune existed before it was even found. What the hell? How can you know that? 1 in 36,000 people knew this. Diamonds can rain on planets. There you go. What was I saying earlier? Deep with Neptune and Uranus, it rains diamonds. I mean, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? I mean, it probably wouldn't. If it was raining diamonds here, it'd probably be very painful and kill a lot of people. But it would be cool. 1 in 38,000 people knew this. Your body contains stardust. The elements in your body were formed in stars that exploded billions of years ago. That's why you hear people say we are one with the universe, because we are made of the universe. We are in everything and everything is in us. That's very deep, that, wasn't it? 1 in 39,000 people knew this. Hair is almost indestructible. Human hair is almost indestructible except the fact that it is flammable. Also, you can cut it, so it's not really indestructible, is it? Oh, I suppose it's saying it's not indestructible. So... yeah, that's like saying paper is almost indestructible, but you can't. It's not really, because you can cut it and you can burn it. I don't really get that one. 1 in 39,500 people knew this. The largest living thing is a fungus. A fungus in Oregon, known as the Armillaria ostoyae, spans over 2,400 acres. Oh my god. I don't know what just happened to me then. Jake.exe has stopped working. 1 in 40,000 people knew this. Cats can't taste sweetness. What? Their survival is dependent on meat, so they can only taste flavors related to meat. Then why the hell does my cat want to eat chocolate all the time then? What the hell? Well, I didn't know that. 1 in 41,000 people knew this. Coral is an animal, not a plant. Unlike plants, corals do not make their own food using photosynthesis. Whoa. So what does coral eat then? Does it eat plankton or does it... I don't know. 1 in 43,000 people knew this. Earthquakes occur every minute. Most are too small to be felt, but about 500,000 detectable earthquakes occur annually. Every minute. That's so cool. Thing is though, you don't really count them if you can't feel them. Is it really an earthquake? 1 in 44,000 people knew this. Speed of light isn't always constant. For example, light travels slower through water than air. Whoa. I suppose, yeah. Where does it travel the fastest? Is it in space or just air? I don't know. 1 in 45,000 people knew this. Koalas have fingerprints. Some have fingerprints that are almost identical to human fingerprints. Almost identical. Oh yeah, well that's not really going to hold up in court. So we literally have your fingerprints. It wasn't me, it was the koala. 1 in 45,500 people knew this. Birds are dinosaurs. I bloody knew that. Birds belong to the theropod group of dinosaurs that included T-Rex. I only knew that because I am a dinosaur nerd. If you didn't know, guys, I bloody love my dinosaurs, I do. 1 in 46,000 people knew this. The Earth isn't a perfect sphere. It is slightly bulged at the equator and is flattened at the poles. Oh, here we go. Here come the flat earthers. 1 in 48,000 people knew this. Rain smells due to bacteria. These bacteria grow in soil when conditions are damp and warm. I don't really smell the rain. The only time I smell rain is when it lands on like warm tarmac. Do you know that smell? You know the smell I mean? I love that smell. 1 in 49,000 people knew this. Earth's atmosphere is leaking into space. Every day, 90 tons of atmospheric material escapes Earth's gravity into space. When it says Earth's atmosphere, what is leaving? Just gases, I'm guessing. 1 in 50,000 people knew this. Male seahorses give birth. No, I reckon a lot more than 1 in 50,000 people. Like, I knew that. There's more people that know that than that. They're the only species in which the male gets pregnant and gives birth. It's such a cool fact. I love that fact. 1 in 51,000 people knew this. Banana plants are technically grass. Though they look like trees, banana plants are herbs closely related to grasses. Well, there you bloody go. 1 in 51,500 people knew this. Earth used to be purple. Early microbes use retinol to harness sunlight before the chlorophyll. What the hell? Earth used to be purple. What, including the water as well? What used to be purple? Like the gas? Were the leaves purple? I need to know. I need to see this. 1 in 52,000 people knew this. Your belly button is an ecosystem. It has a wealth of biodiversity and harbors an ecosystem of bacteria. Oh my god. I'm collecting an ecosystem in my belly button. It's my mold collection. 1 in 53,000 people knew this. The Amazon River reverses flow. For millions of years, the Amazon River used to flow in the opposite direction. Why has it changed direction? It's got to be to do with gravity, surely. 1 in 55,000 people knew this. Earth once had pink oceans. Scientists discovered ancient oceans were actually a rosy hue. Pink oceans. This video is blowing my mind, I'm not going to lie. And these facts are only going to get crazier. 1 in 56,000 people knew this. A day on Saturn is only 10.7 hours. Saturn has the second shortest day in the solar system. I wonder how many of these facts I'm actually going to remember. Like that one, it's probably going to straight out my head. You know, like that fact I'll probably just completely forget about. But a fact I will definitely remember is the fact that clouds weigh millions of tons. Like, what the hell? 1 in 57,400 people knew this. A shrimp can punch as fast as a bullet. Their punches are famously fast, accelerating on par with a .22 caliber bullet. Shrimps are stacked. They just, lights out. 1, 2, good night. Wouldn't pick a fight with a shrimp, guys. 1 in 58,000 people knew this. Sounds of cracking knuckles is gas. The noise of cracking in our joints is caused by gas bubbles popping. I did know that. 1 in 59,000 people knew this. Elephants are excellent swimmers. They can go for 30 miles and for 6 continuous hours. What the hell? 30 miles and 6 continuous hours. When you look at an elephant, you wouldn't have thought that, would you? 1 in 61,000 people knew this. Your brain shrinks in space. Astronauts lose grey matter volume in space due to microgravity. What? 1 in 61,400 people knew this. There's a laser on the moon. Apollo mission reflectors allow scientists to measure the moon's distance with lasers. Fire the laser. So you're telling me the moon is basically a Death Star? Is that what you're telling me? 1 in 62,000 people knew this. Plants can scream when stressed. Plants can emit high-pitched clicks when they are stressed. What is this, to communicate with other plants again? Oh no, here comes a horse. Ah! Imagine if plants could actually scream, like they just sound like a human. It would definitely put the vegetarians off, wouldn't it? So, no, please don't kill me. Please don't cut me down. I've got so many kids. 1 in 63,000 people knew this. Rainbows can happen at night. They're formed by light from the moon and showers or storms at night. That's pretty cool. I mean, they can happen at night, but does anyone see them though? Because surely you need the light to be able to see the rainbow. I don't know. Or maybe it's the moonlight. I don't know. 1 in 66,000 people knew this. Cats can make over 100 vocal sounds. Cats have over 100 vocal sounds, while dogs have about 10. What can dogs do? Bark, growl, whine. Yeah, I suppose cats do have more sound. Yeah, you know what? It makes sense. 1 in 66,500 people knew this. Astronauts can grow taller in space. Astronauts in space grow up to 3% taller. I suppose it's because of the lack of gravity, so their spines stretch. That would be my guess. 1 in 67,000 people knew this. Black holes can burp. Black holes can release jets of energy, often referred to as cosmic burps. I kind of want to see a black hole burp now. I kind of want to see a black hole full stop. I don't think I've ever seen one. Have we got any videos of black holes? 1 in 68,000 people knew this. Grasshoppers have ears in their bellies. Why? Grasshoppers have a hearing organ called the tympanum located on their abdomen. Why do they need ears in their bellies? To hear what their stomach is telling them. 1 in 69,000 people knew this. Birds don't pee. Their urine and feces mix together and they poop it out. Well, that's just blowing my mind. Birds don't piss. Are you joking me right now? I didn't know that. Well, that explains why bird poo is always so liquidy and white and yellow and just sits in my car and ruins it. So when you get shit on by a bird, you're also being pissed on. It's like the ultimate disrespect. 1 in 70,000 people knew this. Seahorses are bad swimmers. They are the slowest moving of all fish species. Well, I didn't know that. 1 in 70,500 people knew this. Ants have a super sense of smell. Ants seem to be capable of smelling most of the substances humans can. Most of the substances. Okay. So not amazing smelling, it's only most of. Does that mean to say we have a great sense of smell? Because I didn't think we did. 1 in 71,000 people knew this. Lightning strikes can fuse sand into glass. The heat can create fulgurites, glass-like structures from melted sand. I remember the day I found out that glass is made from heating sand to a really hot temperature. And I was just like, what? Are you joking me? I mean, it makes sense. Suppose you've got to be careful on beaches then with your bare feet because there could just be glass there. 1 in 72,000 people knew this. Octopuses can edit their own genes. They can alter RNA in their nervous system to adapt to extreme temperatures. Is it meant to say DNA? I don't know what RNA is. 1 in 73,000 people knew this. The Milky Way smells like rum. The galaxy contains ethyl formate, a compound that gives rum its smell. And that's how they make rum. Just from space. 1 in 73,500 people knew this. There's alcohol in space. An interstellar cloud contains enough alcohol to fill 400 trillion pints of beer. Well, that's a lot of beer. Sounds like my last Saturday night. 1 in 74,000 people knew this. Saturn would float in water. It is made up of mostly gas and is less dense than water. Well, there you go. I didn't know that. A whole planet would actually float. 1 in 76,000 people knew this. Amazon rainforest creates its own rain. The southern Amazon triggers its own rainy season with water vapor from plants. I did actually know that. It's so cool. That's how big it is. It just makes its own rain. 1 in 77,000 people knew this. Sharks are older than Saturn's rings. Sharks existed 50 million years before Saturn's rings appeared. Why did Saturn's rings appear? That's what I want to know. Where do they come from? They just spawned in one day? Also, yeah, sharks are old. 1 in 78,000 people knew this. J and Q are missing from the periodic table. They're the only two letters not found on the periodic table. I didn't know that. Why, though? That's racist to them, surely. It's racist to J and Q. 1 in 79,000 people knew this. Human bodies glow. The light is 1,000 times weaker than our eyes can see. So how do we know that then? We just, I guess, through using technology, we can see that our bodies glow. It's pretty cool. 1 in 81,000 people knew this. Humans can produce venom. Humans have the evolutionary building blocks to produce venom. What do you mean we've got the evolutionary building blocks to produce venom? But we can't though, can we? How do we do that then? 1 in 82,000 people knew this. Helium can work against gravity. Helium can defy gravity because it is lighter than air. Well, who didn't know that? Fill a balloon up with helium, it goes up. We all know that. 1 in 83,000 people knew this, though. Flea can accelerate faster than a shuttle. They can accelerate 20 times faster than a space shuttle. Oh my god. It's because they're so small. It's just ding! 1 in 83,500 people knew this. Water can boil at room temperature. Water boils at room temperature at a pressure between 0.02 and 0.03 ATM. Okay, so the pressure has to be very high then. That's pretty cool. Didn't know that. 1 in 84,000 people knew this. Infrared cameras miss polar bears. Polar bears are experts at conserving heat, so they're undetectable, even with infrared cameras. Wow, that's awesome. Didn't know that. Don't forget, guys, these facts keep getting crazier. We are getting to the last craziest ones now, basically. 1 in 86,000 people knew this. A laser can get trapped in water. A laser can get trapped in water. In water, a laser beam can be trapped at the interface between the water and air. How? How does it get trapped, though? Fire the laser. 1 in 87,000 people knew this. Earth's rotation is changing speed. This means that 600 million years ago, a day lasted only 21 hours. Oh, so our days are actually getting longer then. 1 in 88,000 people knew this. You can digest razor blades. I mean, I wouldn't try it, guys. The hydrochloric acid in your stomach is incredibly strong, with a pH of around 1.5 to 3. Yeah, wouldn't recommend it, guys, though. 1 in 89,000 people knew this. Animals navigate by magnetism. Some animals have the ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field. Why can all these animals do all these crazy and awesome things and we can't do that? 1 in 90,000 people knew this. Plastic can end up as vanilla flavoring. Scientists found a way to make synthetic vanilla flavoring from plastic products. 1 in 91,000 people knew this. Camels can change their blood. Camels can change the composition of their blood to survive extreme temperatures. They can just change it. They can just change their blood as they please. Can it go blue though, like an octopus? That's my question. 1 in 92,000 people knew this. The Earth is a magnet. Earth acts as a giant magnet with magnetic poles and a magnetic field. But a magnet to what though? What does it magnetize? 1 in 93,000 people knew this. Ticks can make you allergic to meat. What? A bite from the Lone Star tick can cause people to develop an allergy to red meat. Oh God. Let's hope I don't ever get bitten by a tick then. 1 in 94,500 people knew this. Spiders turn water into silk bridges. Spiders turn liquid into a strong, stretchy fiber by squeezing it. Yeah, I do think I don't like spiders, but I do think they are amazing animals. Like, the things they can do, I think the abilities that spiders have are like some of the coolest of any animal ever on Earth. But they're still scary. Maybe that's what makes them scary. 1 in 95,000 people knew this. Oxygen has a color. What color is it? In its liquid and solid states, oxygen is pale blue. Whoa. How can you see oxygen in a liquid state? Can you inhale oxygen in its liquid state and get it like that? Surely not. 1 in 96,000 people knew this. Mushrooms can create wind. Some release water vapor to cool the air around them, creating tiny breezes. I mean, I can't imagine it's a very strong wind. Maybe to like an ant or a mouse or something. 1 in 96,300 people do this. First cloned animal was a sea urchin. The first known clone was created in 1885 through scientific manipulation. I thought it was Dolly the sheep. Is it Dolly? Yes, I thought it was a sheep, not a sea urchin. So we discovered how to clone things back in 1885. What? 1 in 97,000 people knew this. Giraffes only need 30 minutes of sleep. They tend to sleep standing up with one eye open and both ears moving. I suppose it's a survival thing, isn't it? If they allow their neck to get to the floor and sleep on the floor, then it allows predators to grab their neck and then get an easy kill. Makes sense. 1 in 98,000 people knew this. Sloths can grow molds on their fur. Sloths' slow movements and moist fur create the perfect environment for mold to grow. Have you ever seen a moldy sloth? Me neither. 1 in 99,000 people knew this. Earthworms have 5 hearts. These hearts, technically aortic arches, pump blood throughout their body. What the hell? 5 hearts. They're so greedy, aren't they? They're just so greedy. 1 in 101,000 people knew this. Dinosaurs had hollow bones. Dinosaurs had hollow bones with inner structures known as air sacs. Why do they have such hollow bones? Surely it would make more sense if they were not hollow and dense to support their massive bodies. Or maybe that would make them too heavy. Maybe that's why. 1 in 108,000 people knew this. A year on Mercury lasts 88 days. Because of its fast orbit, 1 Mercury year takes 88 days. That must mean a day lasts like 5 or 6 hours or something. That's crazy. 1 in 113,000 people knew this. Ostriches run faster than horses. Ostriches have a higher concentration of fast twitch muscle fibers in their legs. I have seen that they're really fast. That's pretty cool. We should do ostrich racing. Instead of horse racing, let's do ostrich racing. It'll be much more fun. Okay, we're getting into the crazy ones now. 1 in 123,000 people knew this. Ravens can plan for the future. Ravens can plan for the future needs that they never encountered in nature. It's probably one of the few animals that actually thinks about the future as well. 1 in 146,000 people knew this. Neutron stars are incredibly dense. A single teaspoon of a neutron star would have a mass of 1 trillion kilograms. 1 trillion kilograms, just a teaspoon. So we're talking like this much. That is mental. 1 in 189,000 people knew this. Some frogs can freeze and survive. Wood frogs have evolved ways to freeze solid for up to 8 months each year. I don't like the way that frog's looking at me. He's got a really creepy smile and his eyes are scaring me. But that is really cool. I have heard that you could just freeze a frog. Just put a frog in the freezer and yeah, take it out and it's fine. Just kidding. Don't do that. 1 in 204,000 people knew this. There are trees that clone themselves. The Pando Forest in Utah is one organism of aspen trees with a shared root system. I thought all plants kind of technically did that. They all cloned themselves. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. 1 in 211,000 people knew this. Some fish glow in the dark. Lanternfish use bioluminescence to protect themselves from predators. Also anglerfish. Don't anglerfish do that? The ones that are like really deep and they have a little light bulb that hangs down in front of them. Same one that was in Finding Nemo. They are really creepy. 1 in 254,000 people knew this. Elephants can detect rain from 150 miles away. It's possibly due to hearing a rainstorm even from that far off. So basically because they've got massive ears, they can just hear rain. They can hear everything. They can even hear your deepest, darkest thoughts. 1 in 257,000 people knew this. Plants can hear water. Studies suggest that plant roots can detect the sound of water and grow towards it. Whoa. That is so cool. If they're planted somewhere there's not necessarily water nearby, but they hear water that's maybe a few meters away from them, they can just grow towards it. That's so cool. 1 in 268,000 people knew this. Fungi can control insects' brains. Yeah, I've heard this. It can hijack an insect's nervous system to control its muscles. Why would it need to do that? It's kind of creepy and weird, but cool. I mean, if it can do that to an insect, surely it can do that to a human. 1 in 309,000 people knew this. The largest flower smells like rotting flesh. This odor attracts the flies that pollinate the plant. I mean, I suppose it makes sense, but God, I kind of want to see that now. And is it weird that I want to smell it? 1 in 323,000 people knew this. Spiders can fly using electricity. Oh, see, what was I saying earlier? Like, spiders have the coolest abilities. This behavior, known as ballooning, helps spiders disperse to new locations. That's the last thing I want to see, is a flying spider just, soaring through the air. That'll be horrible. 1 in 378,000 people knew this. Saturn's rings are disappearing. The rings will vanish in a few 100 million years. Okay, so they weren't there before, then they spawned in, and now they're slowly spawning out. Why are they disappearing? Where are they going? 1 in 419,000 people knew this. Fireworks were invented by accident. It was a pure accident made by a Chinese cook working in a field kitchen. So he just accidentally exploded something and then went, ooh, and then had a business idea. 1 in 455,000 people knew this. Humans have fewer genes than rice. Humans have about 20 to 25,000 genes, while rice has over 50,000. I mean, what does that actually mean, having that many genes? I'm not really sure. 1 in 481,000 people knew this. There are ice volcanoes on Pluto. Ice volcanoes? What does that mean? Instead of spewing lava, it produces ice? They erupt with slushy mixtures of water ice, nitrogen, and methane. Whoa, that is so cool. 1 in 504,000 people knew this. Zebrafish could help humans reach Mars. Researchers expose zebrafish to radiation like a Mars journey. What does that mean? I don't get it. 1 in 521,000 people knew this. On Venus, it snows metal. High altitude regions on Venus are covered in a frost made of lead sulfide. What the hell? It snows metal. There's so many hostile planets, aren't there, in the universe? Imagine if every planet in the universe was the same as Earth. You could have people on it. That'd be really cool, wouldn't it? Maybe there is somewhere like that in the universe. 1 in 541,000 people knew this. Fire ants can form rafts. Fire ants link together to form floating rafts during floods. Oh my God. Yeah, I've seen pictures of this and videos of this. It's so cool. 1 in 566,000 people knew this. Some lizards can run on water. Basilisk lizards can run on water for several meters. That is so cool. It's because they're so light and fast, they can just skim across like Dash from The Incredibles. 1 in 589,000 people knew this. You can see sound waves. Using special techniques, sound waves can create visible patterns in liquids. Whoa, kind of want to see one now. 1 in 601,000 people knew this. Antarctica is the driest place on Earth. Some areas haven't seen a drop of rain in more than 500 years. I suppose that makes sense, but then also it's snow though, so surely if it just melts, it wouldn't be dry. I guess it doesn't melt though because it's Antarctica. 1 in 634,000 people knew this. There's a waterfall under the ocean. The world's largest waterfall lies beneath the Denmark Strait. Whoa. I want to see that. Okay, guys, we've made it to the last few now. 1 in 688,000 people knew this. Sun makes up to 99.8% of the solar system's mass. Almost all of the mass in our solar system is concentrated in the sun. So that's how big the sun is. It's basically 99.8% of our solar system. What the frick? 1 in 733,000 people knew this. Volcanic lightning is real. Lightning often forms in the ash clouds of erupting volcanoes. That is epic. 1 in 765,000 people knew this. There are fireproof plants. They have thick bark that resists fire, allowing them to survive forest blazes. That is awesome. I did not know that. Something we could use its wood to make fire-resistant wood. Maybe it needs to be alive though. Maybe the wood needs to be alive. 1 in 798,000 people knew this. Sea cucumbers can eject their organs. Sea cucumbers eject parts of the gut in order to scare predators. I don't think I'm even entirely sure what a sea cucumber is. Is it an animal or is it a plant? I'm gonna look it up. Okay, I looked it up and it's an animal, and I've seen a picture of them ejecting their guts and it's not pretty. It's actually grim. 1 in 831,000 people knew this. Moss can absorb heavy metals. Certain moss species are so effective that they are used to monitor air quality. Who knew moss could be so helpful? 1 in 854,000 people knew this. Jellyfish are older than dinosaurs. Jellyfish predate dinosaurs by hundreds of millions of years. That is insane. 1 in 873,000 people knew this. Big Bang originated from a Belgian priest. He first proposed the Big Bang theory in 1927 as the origin of the universe. I thought it was Stephen Hawking that did it first. Obviously not. Okay, guys, we've made it to the last 3 facts. 1 in 923,000 people knew this. Sloths can starve on a full stomach. Their metabolism is so slow that food can ferment and rot in their stomach. That is crazy. Also, I think the food that they eat is so low in nutrition that that's why they can starve as well. Just random plants. 1 in 997,000 people knew this. Brainless slime mold has memory. Slime molds can remember pathways and learn to avoid obstacles without a brain. Maybe they do have a brain, we just haven't found it, or maybe we don't need a brain. Maybe that's a thing. And finally, guys, we made it to the last fact. And this is insane. 1 in a million people knew this. Water can boil and freeze at the same time. The triple point can cause water to boil and freeze at the same time. How does that work? What temperature does that happen at? And how does that work? I don't know. But that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you learned something new. I definitely did. A lot of these facts, to be honest, are probably going to go in one ear and out the other. But some of them I will definitely remember. Like that cloud one. Cloud one I definitely didn't know. And the bird poo. Birds don't wee. Are you kidding me? Are you weeing me? Oh, God. Right, well, that was a long video, but I enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching to the end. It really means the world. Before you go, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I make loads of videos like this, and more, and better ones. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!